Welcome to the Past in Pictures channel. Be sure to subscribe and like so you don't miss out on more videos like this one. The scandal involving silent film star Roscoe "Fatty" Arbuckle became a turning point in 1920s Hollywood because it publicly exposed questions of morality and ethics in the entertainment industry, sparking national debates about celebrity behavior. Despite his complete acquittal in 1922 after 3 trials and a rare formal apology from the jury, his reputation had already been badly damaged, pushing the film industry to adopt stricter conduct codes and self-regulation. Marilyn Monroe's death, officially linked to acute poisoning from sedative substances such as Nembutal and chloral hydrate, has remained surrounded by mystery and speculation since August 5, 1962. Especially because expected signs were missing from the initial report, raising doubts about the circumstances. Later inquiries suggested possible political connections, since Monroe was said to have had close relationships with central figures of United States power such as John and Robert Kennedy, fueling theories that go beyond the personal realm and touch on national security topics at the height of the Cold War. Elizabeth Short's death in 1947 deeply marked Los Angeles history, showing how America's sensational press in the 1940s turned tragedies into urban legends. The case, known as the Black Dahlia episode, affected public opinion not only because of its seriousness, but also because of how the media used the young aspiring woman's image, tying it to both glamour and the city's darker side. The episode became a landmark in the relationship between crime, the press, and popular culture. The death of Sharon Tate in August 1969, linked to followers of the group led by Charles Manson, symbolized the end of the innocence that shaped the 1960s mood in Hollywood and the United States, turning a climate of optimism and freedom into fear and distrust, especially among celebrities. The episode shocked the world because it involved a young pregnant actress, showing how serious events could reach even the most privileged circles. The case had a lasting cultural impact and deeply changed public perceptions of safety and fame. In November 1981, Natalie Wood's death during a boat trip with her husband Robert Wagner and actor Christopher Walken became one of the most puzzling cases in Hollywood history, creating decades of doubts and theories about what really happened that night on the yacht. First treated as an accident, the episode soon turned into a public scandal as investigations were reopened, and those involved gave conflicting accounts, fueling rumors and debates about star culture and pressure on American celebrities. During the charged atmosphere of the 1960s in the United Kingdom, the Profumo affair gained worldwide attention by revealing links between Christine Keeler, a young model moving in British elite parties, and central figures in British and Soviet power, exposing vulnerabilities in the middle of the Cold War. The scandal showed how personal desire and social networks could affect national security while also highlighting political hypocrisy. The fallout hit hard, bringing down Secretary John Profumo and shaking public trust in the government. John F. Kennedy, elected President of the United States in 1960, became the symbol of an era defined by optimism and an image of a perfect family presented to the public. But later, rumors and accounts of his many extramarital affairs brought a hidden side of his presidency into view, shocking public opinion in the years after his death on November 22, 1963. The contrast between the myth of a charismatic leader and the reality of secret relationships shows how political power was often protected by press silence, reinforcing debates about public ethics and privacy. When the romance between Wallis Simpson, a divorced American, and King Edward VIII became public, it triggered an unprecedented constitutional crisis for the British monarchy, reflecting a clash between rigid tradition and the personal desires of the ruling elite in the early 20th century. By choosing love over duty, Edward VIII abdicated the throne in December 1936, shaking the royal institution and sparking intense press debates about morality, class, and the limits of monarch behavior. The episode permanently changed the relationship between the Crown and British society. During the making of Cleopatra in the early 1960s, Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton played not only historic roles, but also lived out an extramarital romance that echoed worldwide, shaking the era's social and moral standards. Seen as peak symbols of Hollywood glamour, their relationship at the height of their careers put a forbidden passion on full display, breaking taboos and drawing backlash from the media, religious institutions, and international audiences. The turbulent Taylor-Burton relationship became a landmark, shaping how future celebrity scandals would be handled and discussed globally. In the late 1950s, Hollywood faced a major scandal when Cheryl Crane, the teenage daughter of actress Lana Turner, was at the center of the case that led to Johnny Stampanato's death inside the family home, an episode that quickly hit American newspaper headlines. The case highlighted the collision between post-war movie glamour and the underworld of criminal activity, sparking intense debates about morality, the influence of fame, and the fragility of family relationships under the era's harsh public scrutiny. Olive Thomas's death in September 1920 during a stay in Paris shocked both silent film elite circles and international public opinion, especially because of the mix of glamour, youth, and mystery around the tragic episode. Her promising career served as a symbol for a generation hungry for new stars, fueled by the growth of large-scale film productions in the United States. The scandal created by the unclear circumstances of her death, along with her controversial relationship with Jack Pickford, permanently marked the cultural history of the 1920s. Frances Farmer became well known in Hollywood in the 1930s and 1940s, not only for her talent, but also for her defiant stance against the standards imposed on women in the film industry, becoming the target of intense public conflicts and arrests that shaped her life. Her later psychiatric hospitalizations, surrounded by reports of abuse, reflected how mental health institutions could be used as tools of retaliation and silencing against women labeled as rebellious. Over the 20th century, Frances Farmer's case came to symbolize debates about women's autonomy and abuses carried out by systems of social control. At the end of Hollywood's so-called Golden Age, gossip columns wielded devastating power by turning Lupe Vela's death in 1944 into a sensational spectacle filled with xenophobia and misogyny, showing how the industry exploited and distorted painful events, especially involving Latina women. The case became emblematic for exposing discriminatory and abusive practices, highlighting structural racism and sexism in the media culture of the time, a context that later shaped debates about ethics and women's rights in entertainment. During Hollywood's Golden Age, Errol Flynn cemented the classic image of the swashbuckling hero on screen, but his name took on other meanings because of a widely covered 1943 trial over allegations of improper conduct that put his excessive private life under public scrutiny, fueling newspapers and morality debates in popular culture. Even after he was acquitted, his legacy became tied to conversations about masculinity and reputation, becoming one of the clearest examples of how scandals can overshadow courtroom victories and shape collective memory. The Profumo affair in the United Kingdom in 1963 deeply shook British politics after the Secretary of State for War, John Profumo, officially denied to Parliament that he was involved with Christine Keeler, a model connected to underworld figures and possibly Soviet agents at the height of the Cold War. When the truth came out, the revelation of the lie rattled Harold Macmillan's Conservative government, triggering a serious public trust crisis in political institutions and becoming a symbol of moral vulnerability in high circles of power. In the late 1940s, Ingrid Bergman's reputation took a historic hit when she became involved with Italian director Roberto Rossellini, a scandal widely exploited by the American press, which cast her as a symbol of supposed moral decline. Post-war American conservatism nearly pushed her out of Hollywood, revealing the unequal standards used to judge men and women. Years later, Bergman achieved artistic redemption, returning to prominence by winning the Oscar for Anastasia in 1957. During the 1950s and 1960s, while Rock Hudson was marketed by studios as the ideal American leading man, Hollywood kept tight control over stars' private lives, using confidentiality contracts and strategies that hid personal aspects of performers. This silent system made Hudson's story a symbol for studying image-making and cover-ups that shaped the so-called golden age of the film industry. The case reflected the consequences of the era's dominant social moralism. In the 1950s, Tab Hunter became an example of youth packaged as a product in Hollywood's golden age, when major studios tightly controlled their stars' private lives to maintain a flawless image and satisfy the expectations of a conservative post-World War II American public. In that climate, even rumors could ruin careers and trap actors in abusive contracts, driving private censorship mechanisms and feeding fear of scandal before anything even became public. During the 1950s and 1960s, Liberace cemented his fame in the United States as a symbol of luxury and spectacle, becoming one of the world's highest-paid performers through shows featuring extravagant pianos and lavish costumes, in a context where media exposure and celebrity life became a kind of non-stop performance. His strategy of suing journalists and publications that hinted at details of his private life reflected both the era's social pressure and the need to protect his public image, turning court-enforced silence into part of the scandal itself. Montgomery Clift cemented his prestige in Hollywood during the golden age of American film, praised for his intensity and modern presence on screen. But a serious car crash in 1956 profoundly changed his life, affecting not only his looks but also his health and emotional stability, leading to a long, quiet period of personal fragility. The episode shocked the public amid a star culture built on strict beauty standards, becoming a symbol of the unseen pressures on actors and actresses of the era, especially in the restrictive climate of the 1950s. In the late 1930s, Hollywood was solidifying its golden age and imposing strict standards on young talent, as seen with Judy Garland in The Wizard of Oz, released in 1939 and later seen as a landmark in world cinema. The demanding studio control over child performers, including limits on appearance and health, exposed the harsh, behind-the-scenes reality beneath the glamour of child stardom. This situation showed how artistic success could carry severe consequences with lasting impact on debates about ethics in the entertainment industry. During the 1930s and 1940s, Charles Chaplin became a world cinema icon, especially through unforgettable characters like the Tramp, yet his career was deeply shaped by scandals tied to his personal life and growing politicization in the United States. In the midst of the era's moralism and the rise of McCarthyism, public figures were targeted under accusations of communist sympathies, leading to his exile and fueling debate about artistic freedom and conservatism in American culture. In the 1920s, Clara Bow rose as the emblematic it girl, reflecting the decade's cultural shifts shaped by silent films, the growth of Hollywood, and women's growing independence in big cities, symbolizing freedom and modernity for many women. When sound films arrived at the end of the decade, Bow faced not only technical challenges, but also intense exposure to rumors and personal attacks, often driven by sensational media, former employees, and rivals. Clara's story shows how Hollywood could both elevate and destroy reputations, revealing the costs of female fame in an era of major social and technological change. Jean Harlow, celebrated in the 1930s as Hollywood's femme fatale symbol, saw her life defined by a meteoric rise and an abrupt end in 1937 at age 26, stirring shock and intense rumors about the true circumstances of her early death, including speculation about medical failures and backstage studio theories. Her public image cemented the blonde bombshell archetype, serving as a marketing tool for major studios during the so-called Golden Age, a period when the industry molded stars and squeezed their private lives for fame and profit. In the 1950s, Hollywood stardom was shaped by aggressive marketing, and figures like Jane Mansfield emerged as examples of manufactured celebrity designed to rival earlier mass appeal icons like Marilyn Monroe. Mansfield's media lifestyle became known for showmanship and involvement in scandals, reflecting mass consumer culture and pop imagery that grew after World War II. Her death in 1967 helped cement the myth of a star spiraling into excess, shaping ideas about fleeting fame. In post-war Hollywood, especially in the 1940s and 1950s, film noir highlighted figures like Gloria Graham, whose career shined as much as her personal life stirred controversy. The scandal that linked Graham to her former husband's son exposed not only the era's morality concerns, but also the relentless curiosity of tabloids and celebrity magazines. The episode reflects a social climate where star behavior was judged harshly, marking the rise of gossip culture as a tool of moral control and entertainment. In the first half of the 20th century, Hollywood created and discarded stars with ruthless speed, as shown by the emblematic case of Veronica Lake, whose meteoric fame was defined by her iconic hairstyle and enigmatic expression, symbols of the noir era. Her story shows how conflicts with studios and personal struggles such as alcohol dependence could lead to public decline and obscurity, reflecting a system that glorified stars but punished any slip with ostracism, revealing the harsh consequences of that logic in Hollywood's golden age. Joan Crawford stood out as one of the biggest symbols of Hollywood's golden age, cementing her career during the 1930s and 1940s when Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer turned stars into global icons, shaping not only productions but also the private lives of its actresses and showing a strict system of image and behavior control. Her story reveals the consequences of an endless chase for perfection, fueling rivalries like the well-known feud with Bette Davis and exposing how the entertainment industry built myths while also destroying reputations. At the height of Hollywood's golden age, Bette Davis' resistance against the rigid studio system exposed how restrictive contracts limited artists' creativity and freedom, especially for women. Her lawsuit against Warner Brothers in 1936, even though she lost, drew major attention by calling out the authoritarian practices of studio bosses. The episode was key in expanding debate about artistic autonomy and inspired later generations to challenge oppressive structures in the film industry. During the 1920s and 1930s, Mae West stood out in New York and Hollywood by openly challenging the era's conservative standards, using humor and confidence to talk about female sexuality in ways that were new to American entertainment. This sparked strong backlash under the Hays Code, rules created in 1930 to regulate content deemed immoral in Hollywood films, reflecting an intense social struggle between artistic freedom, supported by audiences, and moral control imposed by the industry and religious groups. The clash became a defining chapter in the evolution of female representation in mass culture. In the 1930s, Hedy Lamarr gained international attention starring in Ecstasy, an Austrian film that caused a major stir for scenes seen as provocative by the era's social standards, reinforcing her stereotype as a seductress while masking her remarkable intelligence. That intelligence later became clear through her wartime technological contributions during World War II, when she helped develop a system that anticipated VIII, showing how her story went far beyond beauty and became a symbol of the fight against women being underestimated. In the 1920s, Josephine Baker became a symbol of rupture as she took Paris by storm with performances that challenged gender norms and exposed contradictions in European structural racism, in a period when the continent's supposed artistic progress clashed with deeply rooted stigma. Her presence on the French scene highlighted Eurocentric exoticism, since the freedom with which she used her own body was both celebrated and judged. Her path helped redefine the role of Black women in the arts and pushed debates about identity and power. Famous as an exotic dancer in the early 20th century, Mata Hari became the target of major controversy when she was accused of acting as an informant during World War I in an episode shaped by the era's intense political paranoia. Her story shows how collective fear and exoticism blended together, casting the foreign woman as a suspicious figure and a scapegoat. The Mata Hari case reflects the impact of Orientalism in European culture and how ideas of female seduction were used to justify persecution campaigns during conflict and social instability. James Dean's early death on September 30th, 1955 in a crash involving his Porsche Spyder locked in his image as an icon of rebellious, restless 1950s youth in the United States, especially after the success of Rebel Without a Cause, released that same year, feeding a myth around him. His life cut short so soon, tied to deadly speed and the symbol of a sports car, reinforced an era of youth unrest and freedom seeking that echoed worldwide and shaped post-war popular culture. In the 1920s, Rudolph Valentino's death became a turning point in global popular culture history, because his 1926 farewell drew desperate crowds, fainting fans, and unprecedented media coverage, cementing the early impact of 20th-century celebrity culture. The phenomenon showed how male sensuality and the rise of the movie heartthrob created a new kind of idol, whose popularity also carried a near-religious devotion, foreshadowing later worship of entertainment figures. During the Great Depression that shook the United States in the 1930s, Peg Entwistle tried to fulfill her dream in Hollywood's competitive film scene, a time marked by severe financial crisis and rising unemployment. Her striking ending, tied to the Hollywood sign, drew national attention and turned the ultimate fame symbol into a stage for frustration, showing how studio success promises could mix with the cruelty of rejection. The episode echoed as a warning about illusions and challenges in the desire for artistic rise. During Hollywood's golden age, Rita Hayworth became a symbol of glamour and sensuality in the 1940s, especially after her iconic role in Gilda in 1946, a key milestone in classic cinema that also highlighted the gap between her public image and private reality. The control studios exerted over her career reflected an industry that shaped women to fit strict standards, turning them into consumer products. Hayworth became a powerful example of the pressures and limits actresses faced in that historical setting. In the early 20th century, Hollywood built its global influence by creating myths and intriguing personas, shaping Theda Bara's career as one of cinema's first vamps, a symbol of the exotic and dangerous femme fatale. Her fame was boosted by marketing campaigns that invented fake biographies and leaned into mystery and a provocative image to shock audiences, showing how scandal became a powerful publicity strategy. This media construction marked the beginning of manufacturing celebrities and complex female archetypes in popular culture.